Hello friends, I welcome you to another interesting class in our Adobe Photoshop. And in today's class, we're going to teach you how you can create a simple flyer mockup in Adobe Photoshop. So let's get to this class started. The first thing we have to do is to make a new page by go to File. Then we click on New. Alright, so we need to come here and type the name of the design. A for flyer mockup. Alright, so we have to come to the width. So our width can be 1500 pixels. Then our height can be 1125. Then our resolution should be 300 and the color mode should be RGB. And finally, we come down below here and click on create. Alright, so this is the background layout for the mockup. So to set up the mockup, we have to come to the top home tab here and right click on this place and click on a new document. So we can come here and select letter. So having select letter, this is A4 standard, 8.5 by 11 width, and the resolution 300 and the color CMYK. Then we click on create. All right, so I think there is a mistake somewhere, so let me delete this page. Then let me make another page. Right click, new document. So the size should be A4, so which is this, right? So we can name this mockup. Then you make sure everything is within this size range. Then click on create. All right, so this is exactly what I'm looking for. So one other thing you can do now is to make sure you unlock this layer. How you're going to do that? You have to come to the layer panel here, double click on the layer. So this is going to pump up and you click on OK. Right now, having unlocked the layer, the next step you have to take is to come down below here and make a new layer. Now we have two layers right here in the layer panel. So the next thing we have to do is to select the 0 layer and then click on the press delete key on your keyboard. So we are going to have a transparent background exactly like this on the screen right here. So one other thing I'm going to do now is to set up my mockup. So now before we do that, we have to, so let's go to our toolbar right here and look for paint bucket tool. So how do we get that? We have to right click on the gradient palette, then you select your paint bucket tool. So when you select your paint bucket tools will fill with the foreground color, as you can see from the home tab right here. Now in this case, now I'm going to change my foreground color from green. This is my foreground color. So I will double click on here and I'm going to change this to black and click on OK. Now, having changed this to dark green, so what I'm going to do is to just press once. So when you press once, it's going to automatically fill in the entire shape. So one other thing I'm going to do is to go to my home tab here and select my pick tools. Now, having selected my pick tools, I have to come here to the layer panel. I will right click on the layer, then I will look for convert to smart object. Now, having convert to smart object, so this is where your mockup can be easily used. Now, I will take this layer to my background layer. So we have to take this right here and need to drop it down here. Now we have the file very large. So all you have to do is to go to the home tab here, look for edit, and look for free transform. So I'll press Ctrl minus to zoom in, Ctrl minus to zoom in, Ctrl minus. All right. So I can resize from any angle. Let's say, for instance, I'm dragging from the top, Shift key and alternative key on my keyboard, and I'm going to drag it down to have the resize of the mockup I'm looking for. Right, I'll press Ctrl plus 0 to zoom in the entire canvas so you can see. Now, what I'm going to do, I will drag the flyer mockup right now. Now, I can still continue to expand the size of this. Shift key, alternative key, and drag. Okay, so and take it down a little bit. Now with that, I will come to the home tab here. I will click on this check mark to accept the transform. Now I will go back to my home tab. I will look for select, then I'll click on all. Now I have to centralize this this shape to the mid center. So I have to come here and select my alignment vertical center and the alignment horizontal center. Then I'll go back to my select and I will choose the select. So with this, I'm satisfied with the way and manner I have mockup in a place. So what I'm going to do next is that I'll press Ctrl plus to zoom in, Ctrl plus to zoom in. So now I'm going to I'm going to create a little bit shadow for the mockup. So I'll come back to the background layer. I will select the background layer. Then I'll come back to my tools bar. I will right click on the shape tools. I will select rectangle. Now having select rectangle, I'll come to the home tab here. I will change the fill of my rectangle color. So I'm thinking of using this type of gray color. Then I will remove the stroke color. Good. Now I have to draw my rectangle all over like this and make sure it's not gone beyond the mockup shape. Now I can delete this. So I can press Ctrl T to open the transform tools. Then I will just take it down below a little bit like this. Control plus. So I think I need to adjust this point here. Okay. So with this one here, what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to click on this check mark to accept it. Then I'll have to come to the layer panel here. I will right click on the layer. Then I will look for Rasterize layer. So when you rasterize layer, this is when you can make use of your text wrap object. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come to my home tab here, and I will look for edit, and from edit I will look for free transform. Then from free transform I will look for wrap. Now with this I can drag the wrap, something like this. And drag this to the center like this. Then I will drag this also to the center like this. So once you are satisfied with the desired result, so you have to come to the home tab here and click on this check mark to accept the transform. Now I can just tap in a little bit. Okay, so Control plus 0 to zoom in the entire canvas. Let's see. Now you can see a little bit shadow, something like this. So now what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to select the two layer. I'll press Shift key on my keyboard and select the top layer. Then I'm going to drag it down right here. Then I will make a duplicate of this layer. I'll press Ctrl J and Ctrl T to open the transform tools. Now I'll have to take in my ruler to the center point. And I'll click on this check mark. Now I can press Ctrl T now again. Then I will drag this okay, and I'll come here. I will click on this to accept. Now I have to take this to the bottom. And let me drag this to the top. So I will create a new layer. So I can drag this to the new layer now. Okay. Now I'm going to select this layer again. I'll press the Delete key on my keyboard. Then what I'm going to do next is that I have to press Ctrl T again. Then Shift key and alternative key and drag in to resize. This depends on how you want your flyer to look like. Then I'll click on this. I'm satisfied with that. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is to press Ctrl J again to make a duplicate, then Ctrl T again to open the transform tools. Then I will drag this one here. And I'll click on this to accept. Now I have to locate the layer. So now, having located this layer, what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to go to the Home tab here. I will look for filter, then blonde, then Gaussian blonde. So I have to make this blonde a little bit. So this is depends on how you want the back of the. Okay, I think and I'll click on OK 3.5. Then I'll look for this one here also, and I'll go to filter, blonde, Gaussian blonde. So the same thing. Now click on OK. So I can hide the layer. Now I can select the top layer of the flyer, which is this. Now to place our new design on this, so we have to come to the layer here, double click on the smart object thumbnail, then this open in another environment like this. Now you now place in your design. So let's say for instance I click let me make a rectangle, and let me just place a new design and say let's call this red color, and click on OK. Then I'll select my type 2 now. I'll make a new layer, and I will increase the font size. Now I'll call this flyer mockup. So I can press Ctrl. Okay, let me change the text format. Ctrl A. So I'm going to change the text format to something like this. And I press Ctrl T again to open a transform tools. So I'm going to increase the size. Okay, placing it to the center point. I click on this and I click on apply. Ctrl A to select everything, then alignment vertical center and alignment horizontal center, and I click on Ctrl D to deselect. Now I have to come here, click on this close button here, then I'll click on yes. So you're going to see the result. Boom. That is it. So this is how you create simple A4 flyer mockup. You can see it right here on the screen, and you can just apply whatever color of your choice to the background. So I hope you guys learn one or two things in this class. So I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye.